Testing, testing. Can you guys hear us? Hi, good morning, everybody. How are you guys doing today? Oh my gosh. Okay, can you guys just do me one big favor here? You guys have those sticks on your table. Can you just wave those in the air? I want to see some energy in here. Yes, look at that. Oh, okay. Oh, they got more energy over here, guys. What's going on? Yes. Oh my God, I love this. Okay. Thank you so much. Okay, we are so excited to be here this morning. And I know that Hillary said a lot of great things about Mauricio, but I can tell you this. I have known him pretty much almost all my life. And you know, you have those friends that become family and you don't even know the difference anymore, right? And he has definitely become a family to all of us, and we're really excited to have him out here. And it was so last minute. He was like, I have to be there to support what you're doing. And Sentai millionaire in the room, multiple lanes of income. You're talking about 7 streams of multiple lanes of income through diverse industries, and he's managed to make them all $1 million babies, right? How many of you guys like to just rub him for a second? Somebody, can we rub him for a second? Yes.
It's not free.
And he is the author of 3 books, and we'll talk a little bit about that here today. But how many of you guys are so excited to take your businesses to, maybe you're making $1 million, maybe you're making $500,000, but you're ready to take it to the next level, whatever that level is? Anybody in this room? Want to make sure I'm talking to the right ambitious entrepreneurs, right? Okay, good. All right, Mauricio, are you ready?
I stay ready. I came ready. We just landed last night.
At 1 in the morning?
1 in the morning, and I gotta thank my girl for setting that up. It's been tracked, but we're good. We're ready. We stay ready. So.
Yes, awesome.
I'm excited to be here. Wow. First of all, I want to say thank you to all the beautiful people that are here today. You guys are definitely committed to change and wanting more in your life, so you're here. People talk about the 1%ers, well, you're part of the 1%. 1%ers make differences and they make changes and they do whatever it takes. Number 2, I want to thank the staff that's here today that's serving us and that are in the back house, and I want to give them a round of applause. We got to live in a state of gratitude, guys. We got to give thanks every day for all the blessings that we have, and I'm just learning more and more every day, and I'm having more larger and bigger gratitude moments as I continue to look back, just to see where I've come from to where I'm going. So again, I'm just blessed and thankful to be here with you. So
Awesome. Thank you so much. Okay, we're going to dive right into the first question I have for you. I have a list of questions here, okay? So I had to make sure we curated these questions.
You know I'm going to go off script, so we're good. We're good. I don't follow rules, but we're good. Go for it.
Okay, so he started out in the nightlife scene. He actually built an amazing club out in San Jose, California, and it was amazing. Hit over $1 million, multimillionaire by the age of 25 years old. Incredible networker, incredible like godfather. What do we call you? The mayor of San Jose, the social mayor of San Jose?
Social mayor, well, godfather of San Jose nightlife, and then Silicon Valley social mayor. So.
Awesome. Okay, so let's talk about those key principles and those strategies that as you were able to establish early on that really laid out that foundation for you and for your future success.
So we'll go back a little bit further. The story I heard earlier about starting young, my first business was at 15. So I started small and young, and I failed young and early in my career, so I got to see what failure was at a very young age. My first business in LA, I grew up in Los Angeles. I was tired of hearing my mom saying no, that she couldn't afford to buy me shoes or certain things. So one day I said, enough is enough. I need to hit the streets. So I walked around my neighborhood and I started washing cars. What I did was I picked the bigger cars because I figured in my mind bigger cars, more money. So trucks were my favorite because I could make more money off of it. So I would tell them my pitch, right? I started my pitch. If you don't like my service, you don't have to pay me. But if you like my service, it's $20. And $20 for a 15-year-old kid is like $1 million, right? Because now you can buy candies, you can buy, well, that wasn't my choice, but I wanted to get certain things. So I bought my first pair of Air Jordans after 1 weekend of work because I was tired of my mom saying she couldn't afford Air Jordans. So, and growing up as a kid in LA is brutal. You got kids can be mean, and
Yes.
you have to do so. For me, the blueprint started at a very young age. I also got to give thanks to my mother, because my mother was, she had an entrepreneurial spirit, and she was a hardworking single mom. So she planted those seeds so I wouldn't be where I'm at today if it wasn't for my mom's.
Ooh, yes.
So, and growing up in LA, and with a younger sister, mom worked at night, and big brother had to take care of little sister, and so I was driven. I was driven by not having. Now, I didn't know what the path was going to take me or what road I was going to go, but all I knew is that I wanted more. So my journey started at 15. I got into the nightlife industry by accident. Well, let's not call it an accident. It was meant to be. At 15 years old, at the same time that I was out hustling and washing cars, I ran into a guy that, I manifested. I don't know if you guys believe in manifesting, but manifesting is real. And if you get really tuned into it, it happens. So at a young age, I used to have a poster of Lamborghini Countach above my bed. And it was a cool car, and I wanted that car. That was one of my ambitions. And my mom woke me up one day and said, Chele is my nickname, meaning light skin. So, Chele, wake up. There's a Lamborghini parked in front of the house. I'm like, Mom, there's no Lamborghini parked. Stop. I thought that was her tactic of getting me out of bed to go to school. There's no Lamborghini parked outside. So she goes, get up, there's a Lamborghini parked outside in front of the house. So I peeped out and I said, oh shit, there's really a Lamborghini parked outside. I probably took one of the fastest showers I've ever taken in my life and got ready really quick, just because back then we had Polaroid cameras, and if maybe, I don't know, some of you guys may know what a Polaroid camera is. So Polaroid camera was boom. I had a couple of films left in it. I said, I'm taking a picture. So if when I go to school, nobody's gonna believe I saw a Lamborghini. So that was my version of showing proof. and when I came back home that day from school, I saw two guys, and I wrote a book about it called Smoke and Mirrors, and I talk about these guys. These guys were LA's top promoters in Hollywood, and I got a liking to the guys really quick, and immediately my nightlife journey started there. So 16 years old, I was doing all age parties. 17 years old, I was doing 18 and over parties, not even 18. And at 18, I was doing 21 and over parties, and I was in 21. And I had number one of everything, all ages 18 and over, and 21. I think that it was attributed to my work ethic and my drive at an early age. So there's a saying that I say, nothing or no one will get in the way of my success, period. Nothing or no one will get in the way of my success, just the roots. I've changed it now because now I have a partner, a life partner, and I've changed it to nothing or no one will get in the way of our love or our success, period. So that's, so yeah, so I give you guys a background because I don't want, we might not see each other again, and I want to make sure that when I leave here that I either turn on some switches that are off right now in your heads, or reinforce what you guys are already doing, because we're all successful people. It's just how much work and how bad do we want it, right? So anyways, I know I told you I'm going to go off script. I'm going to go off script. So,
Awesome. Well, that was great. Thank you for filling us in on that, and we love that backstory.
Yeah.
Okay, so the next question for you, because we talk about strategy, and mind you, I've sat in his office, I've heard him give $1 million strategies to people, and they go out and implement it, and holy moly, they actually acquire it. So great advice here. So I want to ask you this question about comprehensive strategy, right? And that blueprint. What ensures that growth? So what are those key things when you're looking at a blueprint, when you're looking at a comprehensive strategy? What are those key things that are going to ensure growth and scalability across diverse industries? So no matter, I know you have this blueprint, no matter what industry it is, he can tell you.
Yeah, so business is business. Doesn't matter what industry you're in. It's just it's where you want to spend your time. So I knew that in the nightlife industry, and I had a great mentor in my life. He told me, Mauricio, you can either spend your time in a small bar, or you can spend the same amount of time in this larger space, larger risk, larger reward. Same amount of energy you're spending in these smaller bars, but you're gonna cap out at a certain point. And he told me, he goes, you want to be like an army of ants, where you see the little ants, and they come and they pick up a pebble, and then they go and they move. Or he goes, you want to be a bulldozer that comes in and takes it all. Well, I'm a young kid, I'm ambitious, you know, I want to be a millionaire at a young age, and I said, no, I want to be the bulldozer that comes in and takes it all. So I had to learn from my mentors those types of strategies, right? It's just, where do you want to be? So that's the way I reverse engineered it. Gary and yes, you guys said it. I was sitting here and it was destined. It was meant for me to sit in front of you because you guys were hitting a lot of things that, and I was laughing not because I just laughing because I'm like, I've been there, done that. I'm like, it's you have to know your number. I ask everyone before we start any like a session or a conversation is, what's your number? If you don't know your number, then you really don't know what direction you want to go. What is your time value? I won't get out of bed unless I know something that's big. It's got to be worth your time. So part of the strategy, the blueprint is know your number. If you want to make $1 million, great. All right, make $1 million and know your product, and then simple math divided by your product, the cost of your product, and it'll give you how many units you have to sell. And then at that point, you'll realize what do you need to scale it, and then what's the plan? Who's the team, and who you're surrounding yourself with. I mean, there's a whole list of that blueprint part, but know your number is really the most important part. I knew I wanted to be a millionaire at a young age, and I made my first $1 million deal at 25, and that thing was an amazing experience. But the crazy part is that when I made that $1 million deal, and I had that grand opening and by the way, it wasn't just one nightclub. I dominated California, I dominated Northern California, and listen to the words I'm using, dominate, right? I'm not using it just to use them, I meant it. I ran the hottest clubs in Southern California, and then got to run a majority of the nightclubs and control the market, right? Control the market. One of the largest markets in California was the Latino market, and we controlled all the Latino artists that came to Northern California. When I say control, there's a reason why we got the word that we got the title. Well, I was the underboss, and there was another boss above me, right? So, Harry Evans, by the way, I have to give him credit. This man mentored me and from a kid. So he taught me. He was already a multimillionaire, and I surrounded myself with him, and I kind of picked up all the nuggets.
Yeah.
And what I realized was that after I made my first $1 million deal, I'm standing at the top of the grand opening, and I said, "Is this it?" I said, "No, there's got to be more." So I wanted more, and then the drive started even more. So it was the next level, the next phase, and that's all part of the blueprint, right? Is once you get to that point, it's all right. Do we scale, or do we sit? Do we stay there, and is that what it is? I mean, are you comfortable there? I think that as we realize as business owners and entrepreneurs is that we don't get comfortable, and we never will. I'm a deal junkie, yes, I can relate. Every day, every week, there's a new deal. Somebody wants to do something with me, and the first question that I ask is, what's your number? And if you don't have your number, until you have your number, we'll do a follow-up meeting, and I've gotten very good at cutting meetings pretty quick. I will give people an opportunity because I'm not a dream killer, and I'm not one to just like tell you no. I want to hear it because actually I might learn something from you. So every meeting is a learning experience. So, yeah.
I love what he said. Did you guys catch that right there? He talked about reverse engineering. He talked about, having a vision, what's your number? And that really comes down to, there's a saying that says, people without a vision will perish. And if you don't have that vision of where you're trying to get to, what that destination looks like, we're not just doing things to just do them, we're doing them with a purpose, right? And that's what this is all about. That's that reverse engineering, right?
Yeah, no, and I didn't learn, I'm giving you the highlight now, but it took me, I'm 48 years, just turned 48, and I've learned that over my years. I've been, again, I love to say, and I say probably I've never had a job in my life. The only job and that's a job, and I've learned along the way what to do and what not to do, and I continue to learn every day. So,
Absolutely.
we'll probably get into some stories, but I want to share at least a couple. Some real heartbreakers, but actually they've catapulted me to where I'm at today.
Awesome. I love this. Okay, well, now part of strategy, right, is all about who we surround ourselves. Can we agree, Paul?
Absolutely.
Awesome. Yes. So how many of you, Hillary mentioned it earlier, it's about the power of proximity and who you surround yourself with, right? And that's going to make your journey that much easier, or it's going to make it slower, right? So talk to me about power of proximity and how you accelerated your influence by the power of proximity.
Well, you know that very well.
Yes.
You know proximity very well. I'm actually very proud of where you're at and the stories that you shared. So power of proximity is a perfect example. We're within proximity right now. If you don't know who's around you, I would suggest that before the end of the day, you go around and don't be shy, don't be scared. Fear will kill anybody's dream. Go around and shake hands, say hello. Just say hello, and maybe there's something might click. Proximity is important. I've been blessed that at a young age I was surrounded by a millionaire that taught me the basic principles of business, and then allowed me to grow into that and fill in those shoes of becoming a millionaire myself. The next part is then building a team of people that have that vision, that want to share that vision and want to grow as well, and that want to be a part of that. We'll call it the Millionaires Club. Proximity, partnerships, right? You got to make sure that you get involved in partnerships where that vision is shared, and that everyone has the same work ethic. The downfall that I had in the nightlife industry back in 2008 when the world turned upside down, I don't know, maybe some young ones here, some people that experienced that, the housing and stock market crash. Silicon Valley, California is its own universe. Silicon Valley is its own micro-universe itself. Homes there, the median home price for Silicon Valley right now is $1.4 million.
In the ghetto.
In the ghetto, and in the hood, and I love my people in the East Side, but they're all East Side millionaires now. But they're trapped because they can't go anywhere. Because again, if you sell, where do you go unless you move into some
Texas? Somebody said Texas?
I'm not gonna say. We're not gonna.
Don't go there.
I love Texas. I love you guys. All right. We'll see the California transplants come back home soon, right? So, anyways, no, it's. I lost my thought here now.
No, it's okay.
Yeah, proximity. So within proximity, 2014, and I want to give a shout out to my friend Paul Orozco, who's here, who also has seen my journey since I was a kid in my early 20s in San Jose. So you're a San Jose native as well, and he now lives here in San Antonio and embraces San Antonio. Part of the reason why I'm here is two parts. One, I'm here to support Jacqueline, and two, because I'm scouting now for opportunities here in San Antonio. San Antonio is a gem, and we see it because we come from another metropolitan city, third largest city in California, and when we look at a city like this, a beautiful city by the way, there's a lot of opportunity. So proximity, 24 after the whole housing busted and all that stuff, nightlife wasn't part of it. People didn't have the money to spend on extra stuff anymore, so the market took a crash. I was doing both real estate and nightlife. I've always loved real estate. Real estate has just always been just in my blood. 2005, my team did over $9 million in commissions. We sold over 360 units in 1 year, so we were doing a deal a day, pretty much. And then I would tell people, I'm like Batman at night at my nightclubs and Bruce Wayne during the day. So, and that's what it was. I was rubbing elbows with the who's and all that good stuff. Why? Because prior to social media, my nightclub was my platform. Yeah. So, and because I had a high-end establishment, all the who's would come in. I mean, all the celebrities, Black Eyed Peas, Madonna, you two, I mean, there was all the, just anybody, everybody and anybody, they knew that when they went to the vault, what happened in the vault stayed in the vault. So, but those were the relationships that I built, the proximities, right? And from 2000, when that happened, I had to pivot. The world turned upside down, so I didn't expect the real estate market and the entertainment market or the world to go upside down on its head, but you have to pivot. That's part of being an entrepreneur. That's part of the blueprint too. You got to be able to pivot. You can't get stuck in your ways, because you're only going to get stuck in your own way. So
yeah,
you have
definitely.
to be able to pivot. So proximity, again, I was blessed to be surrounded because of my relationships. I was able to surround myself with another person that in 2014, 4 years later, I mean, it was 2008 was pretty critical. I was homeless for about 2 years, about 2.5 years, and I went from Ferrari. I bought my first Ferrari 360 Spider at 28, I think it was, yeah, 28. I thought it was not, we didn't only buy one, we bought two. We needed a red one and a yellow one. I don't know why. But when I lost it, and I lost it because I wasn't prepared, right? Part of my blueprint, I wasn't prepared for
success.
You know, all the successes, right? All the traps, all the trappings that success brings. Because it's cool to have a Ferrari, but if you can't afford a $3,000 oil change, that's the truth, right? If you can't afford a $1,000 tire because you popped the tire, then you probably don't belong in that. You're not yet. You'll get there.
Yeah.
But I went from Ferrari to Ford Focus, and I tell people the story. I said, "Hey, it was still a pony, right?" And it was a black one, so it was cool. I like it, and I kept it clean, right?
It was a stallion.
I kept my rims clean, so it was cool. But you know what? That's actually one of the best things that happened to me was the downfall, 2008, 9, and 10, because it really showed who I was, and it allowed me to go back to what I was accustomed to, was my whiteboard. I love my whiteboard. It even makes me want to cry right now to think about it. Because the whiteboard is what allows me to be creative and to draw. And I'm a visual person, so I like to draw the plan. And it'll never, my game plan will never change my blueprint. I start from where I want to be and work backwards.
Yep.
So when I was in a little 10 by 10 bedroom in my sister's house, and I remember moving back to my sister, well, not moving back, I moved to, I asked my sister for help. By the way, don't be ashamed to ask for help,
Yes.
because el que no pide no come, that means the one, if you don't ask, you don't eat.
Yeah.
So I remember when I walked in, my sister smiling at me, and I was like, I'm about to hear this one. She says, brother, how's that humble pie taste? And I just looked at her and I said, watch. She goes, oh, she goes, big brother, she goes, you're like a cat with 9 lives. She goes, you always land on your feet, so I know that this is only temporary. And it was.
Yeah.
On my whiteboard, I wrote a game plan, a 5-year plan. I said, all right, I need to get to, in 1 year, 150, 200, second year, 250, third year, 350, fourth year, 500,000, and then my 5th year, $1 million. And there was the increments are just because that's what my head was saying. Mm-hmm. I had to pressure myself to get to that point. And in 2014, I launched a company called California Labor Force, and I had with a friend of mine, and we went from 2014 to 2019. We built a $100 million company. We were the largest staffing company, water restoration, demolition company in California. And what I did was I took my marketing skills, my branding skills, and I designed what I wanted to look like a Fortune 500 or a Fortune 100 company, coming out of a small office, probably the size of this stage right here. But on my door, even the door sign looked like it was a Fortune 500. You got perception, right? Perception versus reality, right? People only see, what they see and what you show them, just like today. So we turned that company around, and unfortunately, my lessons learned, you got to learn to dot your I's and cross your T's.
Yeah.
And along the way, at the same time, I was surrounded by other great people that believed in me and got to see my journey. Paul being here today, and thank you. He's family to me. He got to see that you got to see my life cycle in nightlife. You got to see my life cycle in this other.
Your 9 lives?
Part of my 9 lives. And at the same time, it was crazy. 2014 was an interesting year because I also decided I wanted to change San Jose, and I ran for city council for downtown San Jose. And at the same time, I launched 2 companies. I launched another company called Latin Life, and that was my creative space. So Latin Life, the platform was we controlled and dominated the Latino space for so many years that one of my friends, the founder, I was a co-founder, so there was 2 of us. He came from Univision, and he was a vice president from Univision, and we started that company. And 2014, October 4th of 2014, we launched that company. And that one we'll get into 2020, but 2019 is when I hit the $100 million mark and had a falling out with a business partner. And if you guys have ever heard the story of Steve Jobs when he got fired from his own company that he founded,
yes,
it's what happened to me. I was the founder and CEO of my own company, and I got put on paid administrative leave.
Indefinitely.
Indefinitely. No, I remember walking into the room, and I share this because I want this to resonate with you guys, and to maybe while you're on your path and your journey of business, dot your I's and cross your T's, and know who you're doing business with. I had a friendship of 25 years, and that relationship doesn't exist ever anymore, period. And I wish them nothing but well. But the lesson I learned from that $100 million company downfall was dot your I's and cross your T's. And at the same time, I didn't care because I had a $1 billion company right around the corner. So that whole Latin Life was being incubated. We were being incubated out of 360 Labs in San Francisco.
Yes.
360 Labs is in San Francisco. They call it Billionaires Triangle. So anybody that's being incubated out of that office is bound to be a $1 billion unicorn out of Silicon Valley or the Bay Area. So we were bound to be the $1 billion company. So I was like, you can take your $100 million. I'm okay, because in 2020 I'm about to be a billionaire. So.
I love that.
I love it.
All right. Well, we have to wrap this up.
No,
we
We're gonna let the people speak. You guys wanna wrap it up?
let the people speak. Okay, got it.
No, go for it. Go forward. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to eat at the time, but again, we might not see each other again, and I just want to leave knowing that I planted some seeds, and we can always talk after, but yeah.
Absolutely. And we are going to be around. He's going to be around here signing his book. He brought his books here as well. So he only brought a limited amount. So you got to get your signed version over here.
I'll only give 10 of them for free, and the rest you have to buy. So we'll see what we're lucky 10. But you know what? I was going to answer your question about proximity. Fast forward. Proximity is important. Right now, I'm surrounded by 4 billionaires. I'm in my real estate development career, so I do real estate development, land banking. So what we do is we'll buy a piece of like this stage, and we'll say, okay, what can we maximize and put on the stage? We got away from single-family homes because single-family homes we need higher density. California, like the rest of the U.S., is having a housing crisis, and that's the reason why we're having housing. The prices are going up so high.
Yeah.
Because there's no inventory. And so we got to push through our own. California got in its own way of having all the NIMBYs not in my backyard, and now they're feeling the effects because now they have homeless in their backyard and they don't want the homeless people in their backyard. So everyone is reacting versus being prepared. So what we do is we build high rises, high density housing projects. So right now in Silicon Valley we have, there's 2 real estate development, or 2 groups. Our group that has $450 million worth of investments in downtown, and Google, which is right behind us at $350. By the time it's all said and done, we'll be at $5 billion worth of investments in high rises in downtown, and going to proximity, being around these 4 giants, titans. I always tell people, I do a little diagram, I go, I'm swimming with 4 sharks, and I'm the baby shark underneath, and all the scraps that they let go, I'm there to pick them up and learn, because the next partner that's above me is 10 years older than me. So I'm the baby of the group, and there is no succession plan interestingly enough, with any of these billionaires, for anyone to take over what they're doing. So guess who's next in line? So proximity is important.
Yes.
So, but even though you're within proximity, you still have to do the work.
Absolutely.
There's no ends, or there's no work around it. You have to do the work. You have to be committed, and there is no room for excuses. That is one of the first things that'll turn me off the minute I feel. I was mentoring this kid. He goes, "Oh, I'm taking a vacation." I said, "Vacation?" I said, "You're taking a retreat, an entrepreneurial retreat. You're gonna go and still think about business, but don't use words like vacation, because there's no such thing as vacation when you're your own business." I'm just being real. So if anyone got offended, I apologize. Not really, but I'm just here to tell you. I'm just here to tell you that if you want it and you're here because you're committed some time, because your career or your life is important to you, and you want to do something with it. So yeah, proximity is important.
Thank you so much.
I'm next to you right now. You're dealing with like in the $100 billion market kind of people. I'm like, I want to rub your elbows right there. But yes.
Let's rub them together.
Yeah, I charge for mine. Anyhow, any other questions, or are we?
Does anybody have any questions? Any
questions?
questions? I feel like you were very thorough. And everybody's kind of soaking it all in. Oh, yes, Kimberly.
How important do you think that timing
Yes.
Oh.
is for you?
Yes, I love it.
Yeah. Timing is everything.
In 2007, I got the ability to sit in front of Mark Zuckerberg. I don't know if you guys know who that is. So we were at a conference in Palo Alto, and they asked him, because Facebook, when it first started, doesn't look what Facebook is today. And they asked him, he goes, "Mark, how do you do what you do? And your product is, it's okay." Mark wasn't offended. He just said, first, you got to do it. You got to just roll out and do it. Don't expect anything to be perfect, because it's not.
Yes.
Number two is time management. You got to really know what's important for you in your life. And I think it really just comes down to, how do you value your time? I mean, do people want to go out and party? Cool, I did it. I lived the lifestyle. I know what it's like. It's not fun. I used to hear people, "Oh, I want your job. I want your," like, "Here's the keys." Trust me. In a week, you'll be calling me back crying that you want to trade spaces with me. But really, it's managing your time.
Yeah.
The other part is get up early. That extra hour. I've been working on this one for a while. I get up at 3:30 clockwork. I'm at the gym at 4 a.m. Part of the 4 a.m. club. Crazy. But the reason why, and this may help some of you out there, is the reason why I get up early is because at 3:30 my brain wakes up. And when my brain wakes up, that voice wakes up. And when that voice wakes up, that voice is telling me, stay in bed, hug the pillow, and it starts reminding me of all, I don't want to call them problems, but challenges that are ahead. And then what happens is we go down this rabbit hole and we get stuck. So what I've done for myself is I challenge myself that I'm going to beat my mind before my mind beats me.
Yep.
So
Oh, I love that.
I have to, because if I don't, it's going to take me down a rabbit hole, because I have a lot of responsibilities. And I have a lot of people that are looking at me. I mean, I got my ass handed to me yesterday by my partners. And when they hand it to you, it's not because they don't care, it's because they care. Yeah. And because when you're playing with hundreds of millions of dollars, you gotta take that shit serious.
Yeah.
So,
We have a question right over here.
Yeah.
So, as someone who's going into the hospitality industry, what's like your biggest advice you can give me, like, in the industry?
Great question. Get a good mentor. So if you're going in the hospitality industry, which is a great industry to be in, find someone that is at the highest. So reverse engineer that one too. Where do you want to be at in the hospitality industry? If you want to be GM, food and beverage director, some kind of director or vice executive position, think of who you can go become a mentee for. And you might have to do things that extra work. But if you want to get into that world, find a mentor.
Absolutely. I love what you said right there. Find a mentor. If there's anything that you've heard in this whole entire conversation today, He talked about not just rubbing shoulders with people, but listening, paying attention, having that mentor, being in the power of proximity, being around these people, so that you can learn. I feel like no matter what level you get to, no matter how high you get, everybody has a mentor. He talked about, the space that I'm in and working with people that are making $100 billion. And these people have mentors, so. So, thank you so much. Please give a round of applause to Mr. Mauricio Mejia. Woo!
I'm here all day. So, anyway, it's a pleasure.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone, and good luck.
Come and touch his cloak. Thank you so much. Okay, Hillary, you're going to take over?